CKVR Total News with Sharon Burkhart, Bob McIntyre with weather, and Kevin Quinn on sports. CKVR Total News at 6.
Later this hour, these stories to show you. Your mercury fillings, is there cause for concern?
If there is even a slight doubt that it's not safe, then we shouldn't be using it.
Hey, George.
Could your fillings be making you sick? I'm Suzanne Legui, and later in this hour, I'll talk to a group of Huntsville doctors that wants the government to ban mercury fillings. It's a story that affects most of us, and it's coming up on Total News.
Huntsville, a special report on your health, the mercury blues, after this.
We don't know what the long-term health effects of these things are. Most people have them put in when they're children.
Do you have toxic teeth? Well, if you have those silver-colored fillings, and most of us do, some Huntsville dentists say you should be concerned. Today, they told Suzanne Legui the fillings are unsafe and should be banned.
There you go, here's your culprit.
This Huntsville dentist, his assistant, and his patient look dressed for a dangerous chemical spill. And in some ways, they say they are. This man is having his amalgam mercury fillings removed, partly because his dentist says they're unsafe.
This is the bulk of a typical silver filling, or mercury amalgam filling.
For years, researchers have tried to link those silver-colored fillings that most of us have to neurological problems and a long list of symptoms like chronic fatigue, irritability, and tremors. In fact, the 4 dentists in this practice stopped using mercury fillings over 10 years ago.
I wouldn't have it in my mouth, and I wouldn't have it in my family's mouth, and I like my patients. And I don't feel that it's, now that there are reasonable options, I don't feel that it's a good material to be putting in there. It's not a conservative material, it's not an attractive material, and it has this big question mark around its safety.
Canadian dentists have been using mercury fillings for about 150 years now, despite the fact that no study has ever been done that proves them completely safe. What has been proven is that your fillings are constantly releasing mercury gas, especially when you chew, and mercury is a known toxin.
There's, definitely something to be suspicious about.
And it's not like it goes away.
No, it does not. Every time you chew, every time you brush your teeth, every time you have an acidic drink or hot drink, it gasses off into your tissues. It stays in those tissues until it's specifically detoxed.
Here's an example. CKVR cameraman Lawrence Oakley has a mouthful of fillings. So using this special device, Jenkinson measured the level of mercury gas coming off them.
Okay, so we got 0.058. That's not too bad. Some of the folks that come in here, if they were buildings, they'd be condemned.
Canadian dental professionals are warned to be careful with the amalgam. Don't touch it. Don't even put it in the garbage.
So basically the only landfill sites we have are the human body, because that's where we're placing this material, supposedly safely.
So it's not safe for you to touch.
That's right.
It's not safe to put in our landfill
That's
sites.
right.
But it's safe for you to put it in my mouth?
Apparently. We don't believe that, but they haven't proven that it's safe to be put into the human body, and that's where we're coming from.
In fact, now these dentists exclusively use a resin filling, basically white plastic, and they're lobbying the federal government to ban the mercury fillings. The problem is, no scientific study has ever proven the fillings cause health problems, and most dentists continue to use them unconcerned.
They have found nothing to suggest that the average person with silver fillings has any reason for concern.
So you don't need to run to the dentist to have them removed?
No, you don't need to run to the dentist to have them removed, and you don't need to worry about all the concerns that we hear that mercury may in fact cause. It hasn't been shown.
No, I have no proof that it's making them sick. It's often the patient themselves who has come with the request. What I can say is that many of the patients who've had them out, at least anecdotally, are telling me they feel much better.
The federal government has recently commissioned a study of the safety of mercury fillings. The results are expected in the spring. In the meantime, the debate rages on. In Huntsville, Suzanne Legui, Total News.
We'll be sure to let you know the results of that study in the spring.